how long has it been since I've cleaned these toilets? And that wasn't a nice thought. Hello friends, thanks for clicking on the pink veggie. If you're into health, fitness and looking your best, please subscribe for weekly videos. So I'm sorry for the delay in uploads, as I think I have 12 subscribers right now, so I'm sure too many are disappointed, but I'm back. We've been moving house and city actually. It was quite a big move. This is my new office and that was the cause of the delay. Which brings me to today's topic of how to choose a gym, because I see it asked a bit, what these are my options, what one should I go for? And I thought I'd just go through some reasons that I take into consideration when I'm choosing a gym. The gym in the last town I lived in was lovely, I loved it, and it was a bit of a sad moment, my last workout there. If you watch till the end, I've put a video. It's actually probably one of the most unique gyms, maybe in Australia, I think. Watch to the end for the footage of that and where I explain why I think it's one of the most unique gyms in Australia, and leave a comment if you think you can beat it. I've been a member of a fair few gyms over the years, and of course everyone has their priorities. My priorities are not your priorities, but I'll go through some of the things that maybe you should take into consideration. My first ever gym back in the day was a big box gym. I can't remember what it was, but I remember the payments were quite high and it had a big lock-in contract. I think it was a year. Back then I wasn't really doing weights. I only joined up for the spin classes, basically, that was it. And to be honest, I stopped going to them, so it was just a really big fat waste of money, which I hate locking contracts now for anything really, anything in my life. I hate locking contracts. Maybe I'm just scared of commitment. So my second ever gym was a small gym. It was probably about 11 years ago that I was at that one. So the small gym was okay. I think the price was like a mid-price. Mid-price point, and I can't remember having a lock-in contract. Back in the day though, about 10 years ago, it wasn't so common to have a 24/7 gym, so it wasn't 24/7, which was a pain. And the biggest thing that put me off that one was because it was small, there wasn't that many pieces of equipment, which wouldn't be a big deal if they were all working, but half of them were constantly broken and they didn't seem to do any upkeep. And the free weight room was pretty poor as well. I did join up to that one originally because it was close to where I lived, so it was convenient for me due to location, but it wasn't that convenient because it wasn't 24/7. The third gym I had a look at but never joined up to was the local PCYC, which at the time was the cheapest gym in town. I'm pretty sure it still is, but at the time it didn't really have much equipment. It had bugger-all equipment. I think it was 24/7, but yeah, I know it sounds like a weird sort of reason, but the layout was a bit strange. All the rooms were really segmented and in a row with a big long hallway joining them, which was a bit weird. It was just like little confined spaces, not a big open sort of area. So that's probably why I gave that one a pass. The next gym I was a member at was Anytime Fitness. That was probably at the time the most expensive gym in town. I think it was like over $70 a month. And it had a lock-in contract. I think that was a year. At the time I had a well-paying job, so the price didn't really worry me. Why I chose that one at the time was convenience. I didn't have a license back then. I used to ride my bike everywhere and it was literally on my way home to and from work. So it was really easy just to stop my bike there and have a workout on the way home from work. However, that was when I fell pregnant, I lost my job and I was an unemployed poor person. So getting out of the contract was really hard. I couldn't get out of the contract. I had to end up paying it out. And I think they cancelled at the very, very end on me. So that was something, I guess. A reason that I've heard that people don't like that one to this day is because I've heard it called the poser gym, where all the posers go. Not people that are there to work out, get things done and go home. They're just standing around posing a lot. It did have a big wall mirror, I remember, so that might be why. Probably had the best mirrors that I've ever come across in a gym, so that's probably why. So I left there and I used my tax return to buy 6 months membership at another gym. That was bit dingier, that was fine. The stairs were up the back stairs of a pub. It was on the top level of a pub, which is a bit strange, but given the town's just full of little strange oddities. So it was 24 hours, you can let yourself in any time, but when it was supposedly staffed hours and I would like to ask somebody something, there was never anybody there, like never ever anybody behind the counter that you could ask questions. And the main thing with that one was the cleanliness of the toilets. Every time you go in there in the ladies' toilets, there was at least 3 to 5 empty toilet rolls just on the floor of the toilets, just scattered everywhere. And you're like, if it's taken that long to build up all those toilet rolls, how long has it been since I've cleaned these toilets? And that wasn't a nice thought. The other thing I didn't like about that gym was the equipment brand. The equipment brand was in pounds, and I'm Australian, we use metric, so it was hard to keep track of, and it wasn't just straight pounds like it had on there, 5 pounds, 10 pounds. It would be like 1, and you have to look at the chart on the side of the machine that says 1 equals 5, 2 equals 15, that sort of thing. So it was really hard to wrap my mind around the pounds and keeping track of my progressive overload. That particular gym is heavy into powerlifting, so it did have a nice powerlifting area. I wasn't doing that at the time though. And a lot of the weights in the lower range were missing as well, so that was really off-putting. You couldn't just skip up to the next one, it would have to be quite a big jump, which is hard. And yeah, it was a mid-price point, the convenience was okay, but just the equipment wasn't up to scratch. So the last gym that I was a member of, the one I've just left, which I'm missing already, it was a cheap sort of gym. It was about $40 a month. It was about $30 when I started, but I was there a few years. I had no lock-in contracts, no direct debits, so you could just pay every month or every 3 months as you go, which I really like. I really hate direct debits too. And it was 24 hours, and it was because it was part of like a sports club. There was actually people manned on the desk 24/7. Not that they could really help you with much to do at the gym because they were upstairs in the sports club area. But if you needed to pay or renew at 3 o'clock in the morning, then you could do that. So it's downstairs in an old nightclub. It's a bit dingy, but I really liked it. It wasn't open and airy like most new gyms are, but it wasn't a problem for me. It had a really good range of equipment. Not a big space, but they fit a lot into the space they did have. It only had 2 squat racks, and one of them had the powerlifting platform attached to it. So in a big gym that might be a problem, only having 2 squat racks, but being a smaller town and the hours that I would go, it wasn't a problem. So they had a really good range of machines and a really good range of free weights. The cardio area was okay, and the stretching and warm down area was okay as well. And I guess overall, just being the dingier gym, it was a no frills. People go in 4 o'clock in the morning, get their work done and go home. It wasn't sort of flashy or anything, so that sort of suits my sort of personality. So now I've moved towns, I need to find a new gym. I've only looked at one so far because I'm an unemployed bum. Things I will be looking for are price. Something in a good price range. Lock-in contracts, you know I don't like them. Direct debits, if I can get away from direct debits, I will, because I think most gyms will be using them these days, and it was probably an anomaly for my last gym to not have them, but if I can find one that doesn't do direct debits, that would be great for me. Joining fees, I think most gyms have them these days, but if I can find one without a joining fee, that is always a plus. There's usually a key fee for your fob that you can use to get in. There's usually a fee for that, which is usually small, so that's okay. Convenience, I think it's a given these days that every gym will have to be a 24 hours, and the location, like how far is it from me. The town I've moved to is still a small town. It's bigger than the one I came from, but it's still small, so I don't think there's anything very far away, but that is something to consider. The range of equipment, the range of machines, the range of free weights, cardio machines, that sort of thing, the layout of how it's all flows through. Is it easy to go from one section to another section and keep your workout going? the overall vibe of a place. Do you like something a little bit grungier? Do you like something open, airy and modern? Do you like something where you can feel like you're part of a family? Do you like to feel like you're part of the team? Does that not worry you? Do you like to just go in and do your own thing? These are some things to think about as well. One thing I didn't mention because it's never been an option is trainers. A lot of gyms include trainers in the price. Do you need a trainer? Do you not need a trainer? Is that something that you need to consider as well? If they don't include one and you want one, it'll be a separate fee for you to find someone independently. Classes. Do you want classes? Do they offer classes? When are they? Because often I find for me, classes are not at times that are suitable for me. They're more for like your stay-at-home mum types in the middle of the day, and I cannot do that. So if you do want classes, the times they're offered. Is it a busy gym? Is it a busy gym in the hours that you want to go? Will you be waiting forever for pieces of equipment? That is something that's really important, I think. It's no use going to a gym if you spend half your time there waiting on pieces of equipment. I'm usually a very early workout person and there's not many people there, but if you go at peak times, make sure it's got a good range of equipment so that you're not waiting around too much. So obviously there's no definitive list. It's really individual and up to you. Some of those things might not be important to you, some of them will be, and the ones that are important to you, some of them will be more important than others, so you've really got to weigh up your options. For me, price, convenience, the lock-in contract, direct debit, those sort of things are probably at the top, but the range of equipment and the range of free weights are also important, so I probably wouldn't compromise on those just to get no lock-in contract, if you know what I mean. So I think that just about covers it. I hope you found this useful. If you did like it, give it a like, subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you next week and I'll get back to weekly uploads. Watch now for the footage of the gym that I've just left and leave a comment if you think you can beat it, or if you just want to tell me about the gym that you're at, if you love it, if you hate it, and what you're looking for. So to start with, there's an old tram cabin upstairs. It used to be part of a cafe which died over COVID, and that used to actually be, before a cafe, part of a crocodile enclosure at the Steve Irwin Zoo. But they've since built a kids soft play centre around it. So this is me at the bottom of the steps of the gym. To get into the top of the steps of the gym, you have to actually go through the soft play centre gates and down the stairs. There were 2 nightclubs downstairs, so they've built one into the gym and one is still functional. So the treadmills you can see are along an old bar, which is still open. They've never even blocked it off. And the gym goes around the corner, and every Saturday night they block off the pathway, and the people from the nightclub actually walk through the gym out to the smokers area, which is outside. So it's really quite a different and unique setup